Welcome back. So much to discuss after Spurs' win over 9-men Liverpool. 2-1 they won in the 96th minute, but that doesn't tell half the story. Sit back. Here is the Liverpool manager, Jurgen Klopp.
Well, Jurgen, I'm sure there are things in that match that you're frustrated and angry about, but one of them won't be your team's performance. What about the resilience and the effort they've shown in adversity this evening?
Yeah, I told the boys. Football is a result game. We all know that. That's why we are doing it. But if you can't get a result, then it's all about the performance. What can you take from it? And I was never more proud of a team like that today. I never saw a game like this with the most unfair circumstances, crazy with decisions. Wow, how we deal with it, how we stayed in the game, how we fought, and then we score an own goal. And after a performance like that, it's like, wow, that's really tough to take, obviously. But I'm really proud. That's the first red card. Curtis goes on the ball, steps full on the ball, and then rolls over the ball and then hits the leg. So whatever you want to do with that, if you look at that in slow motion, and you think, okay, let's look at maybe a red card. If you are a football player, I'm not sure you would. But unlucky. So it was not a bad tackle or whatever. He just stepped on the ball and goes over it.
I just wonder there if there's an issue of procedure. I don't know if you know this, but it looks like when the referee goes over to look at it, the VAR is showing him a still, is showing him a slow motion. So is that the issue there? Not necessarily the referee, but what he's being shown.
Well, yeah, it looks different in slow motion than in real time. It's just the situation. He steps full throttle on the ball. There's the power. And then he goes over the ball. So that's unlucky. So he made it. About 10 men, it's fine. First yellow, obviously, on Diogo. It's never a yellow card. He hits him with the knee, his leg, whatever. That's crazy. But he gives the yellow card, and in a second, then he's off as well. And then we have to defend with 8 outfield players, which is tricky. Did that extremely well. We had with 9, we still created chances. With 8, we had still moments. It was absolutely exceptional. Yeah, so the only thing we didn't get today, besides a few decisions, good decisions or normal decisions or right decisions, was the result, obviously. But with the performance, I can work. So you want to build something special, and for that you need players with mentality. And I saw today all of them were monsters, unbelievable what they did, how they fought. Pretty special night.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to Joel Matip after that? He's one of a number of man mountains who gets you so close to an unlikely point, and then that happens.
In the end, it looks a little bit like destiny. Somebody had to put the foot there, and it was Joel. He defended outstandingly well today. And here he goes, and then the ball goes over the goal or goes in the goal, and that's unlucky. So that's now not a nice outcome. But I really think we would have deserved the point. We didn't get the point. So I heard about more bad or worse things in life. That's how it is. We will have to keep going. We will keep going. But it's the cards are really how it opens up games, and then the goal, the offside goal.
Well, I was just going to...
On the pitch, never. What we saw was, that's no offside. And then you get it. Then you get in half-time, first thing you heard, the lines they drew the lines wrong.
OK, so I was wondering, from our end, broadcaster end, it's radio silence. We don't know yet. I believe an explanation is coming, but what have you heard?
Oh, no, I didn't hear anything. It was somebody opened the smartphone, and I don't know, on Instagram, Twitter, wherever, somebody put it on, and but it's clear. The ball is between Mo's legs. They drew the line wrong, and they didn't judge the moment of when Mo passed the ball right, because I didn't see it really. I never played football, so that's a bit difficult. But I'm pretty sure. People will speak about that. So it's just so tough to deal with it, and I really thought during the game, I'm now relatively calm. We were in the game we were really calm. The players were calm, and it's difficult to deal with that. Imagine that your heart rate is 160, 70, 80, and then you see that and you think, okay, wow, I got a red card, I got an extra red card, and it's really tricky. And then, so this is today a proper knock for us, obviously, because we would have celebrated the point like I don't know how. Now we have no point again. That's not cool. But performance, how we found a way in this game is incredible, and I love that so much.
Yeah, you said you're calm. I'm actually amazed by how calm you are. Having been in title races that are decided by the barest of margins. No, I just wonder, how damaging can something like this be?
No, I will not follow on that path now. That might be funny for you, but for me, it's just expensive talking about these kind of things. So that makes no sense.
And there he goes.
He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Conducted himself very well.
Yeah, very reserved.
Yeah.
I think he got his points across very eloquently. Very frustrated, you could see that. I mean, in reality, Liverpool have dropped 8 points. They were not going to win the game. They've dropped 8 points. And it's frustrating day for him. And, there will be lots of conjecture, lots of talking about the goal that wasn't given, the offside decision that he skirted across there. And, the reporter saying a statement's going to be read out soon enough. We'll have to wait and see what that statement is about. But a very frustrating day all around. But it was a very enjoyable game, really. Lots of talking points.
Yeah, we'll come to Matip's part in a moment. But from Tottenham's point of view, as you said, they're resilient. They kept going. They had to be patient. And they got their rewards with the last kick of the game, virtually.
And I think you have to be patient. I think when Liverpool went to a back five, it's always difficult. It's almost like it's attack v defence. It's stuff that you do in training. You're not always going to, it's so congested in the middle of the pitch that you can't go through, which means you have to go round. And even when you go round, you have to make the right decisions. We seem to be coming back a lot. And in that last occasion there, Porro, he decides to go on the outside, cross it, and obviously matches his own goal. But you have to be patient. But it's never easy. But, I felt like throughout the game and how we've started this season, probably deserved that little bit of luck. But you see here, Kulusevski, chance to go on the outside, pass it back. But the fans, you could hear the sort of like the frustration in the crowd. They wanted you to sort of like get the ball in the box. And then Porro here, putting that corridor there and, it hits bodies and goes in and, was delighted to see it go in.
Do you feel for Joel Matip here?
Yes, you do, but it's a mistake, Steve. Whether it's just a bit of fatigue, whether it's just mental tiredness.
Concentration.
Gets his body across, yes, concentration. Just takes his eye off the ball. It's a simple enough pass. He hits it with his left foot, the right foot to clear. But it bounces there. It doesn't bounce right in front of him, so he should just keep it concentrated and clear that. But, your 96 minutes, the defenders certainly have worked as hard as they've ever probably worked for the Liverpool game under the cosh for that long. And it's just one of those things. I don't think you can necessarily go overboard on it. I think you see the game as a whole. You see some of the circumstances that have happened in the game. And it's just a point drop, really. But as I said, if you're a Liverpool fan, you're not necessarily distraught over that result because actually, they're a very good team, aren't they? And Liverpool will bounce back, no problem from that. And Joel Matip had a really good game, and he will bounce back from that as well.
Now, as you alluded to, and the reporter did in that, we are expecting some sort of statement from the PGMOL imminently after the lack of line and the decision here to disallow Diaz's goal, which was at 0-0. Let's remember, with 10 men.
Yes, and let's be honest, this is a real low day, isn't it? This is a real bad day. That is onside to anybody who's looking at it. We were waiting for clarification to see if it was onside or offside. Nothing was happening. And if a statement is put out and we're waiting on it to say that it was onside at 0-0, I mean, people who hate VAR, this could be the nail in this coffin. This is a poor decision.
It's quite interesting, though. You see the linesman's position.
I know.
He's in line. He's in a perfect position to see that, and it's
and they're told only to raise their flag if they're 100% sure.
I mean, of course, when it wasn't given, I was delighted, of course. But at the same time, for the sake of the game, Tottenham could definitely got away with one.
I mean, the speed of the decision as well. If you remember it was offside. Let's go to VAR or so-called VAR, and within seconds it was done. And the game carried on. So it was a huge decision, and unfortunately, it's the wrong one.
Tottenham made the most of it, though, because they went down the other end. And Son scored for the 4th Premier League game running against Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, Sonny, he's been on fire this season. Obviously, I won't even call it pressure, to be honest. Obviously, Harry's gone, and he's someone who can score 25 goals. Great movement. I think Richarlison, deserves a lot of credit for his movement here. You see, just backing off and great timing. But the ball from Maddison, the weighted pass, just fantastic. See the weighted pass here. And Richarlison calm in that position and just a tap in for Sonny. But overall, really, really good goal.
Yeah, good movement by Richarlison. When Gomez probably just gets caught out, he has to be closer to Matip and allow that ball to go wide rather than inside him. But again, Liverpool responded really well, like they have done. Responded from this Finished the first half really strongly, but then the second half, red card by Diogo Jota.
No, so there was
two
yellow cards in 83 seconds.
Yeah.
For Diogo Jota. I don't think anyone needs to debate the second one when he's already on a yellow card. What about the first one?
The first one wasn't a yellow card, but that doesn't excuse the second yellow card, because when you get a yellow card, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
So the fact that he got a second yellow card, it was ridiculous. And, someone of his experience should not be getting. Here's the first yellow card. Accidental. Kicks his knee. Kicks his own ankle. Falls to the ground by Udogie. So that is not a yellow card. But as I said, it doesn't excuse this. When you've got a yellow card, whether it's unjust or not, you don't do that. You do not do that. And he's let his team down, really, there. He's let his team down.
We spoke about, if a young player did that, it's sort of like, even then you'd still be thinking, just keep your head, you're on a yellow card. Don't do anything silly to let your teammates down. And there you just couldn't understand why. Yeah, you lose the ball there, but don't go to ground if you're on a yellow card. Especially when you're down to 10 men anyway, and then obviously get sent off. And after that, you're thinking, well, Tottenham, we get another chance. Something will happen in this game, and obviously we did, and then, 3 points.
I've got no excuse for that. If it was the other way round, the second yellow card, you'd say no. But
Jurgen Klopp described the first red card as the most unfair circumstances.
Well, yeah, I think so as well. I just think that Jurgen got a spot on. I thought it wasn't, as an ex-footballer, I thought it wasn't a red card. Jermaine thought the same. I've looked online at numerous quotes from various players, and they all thought it wasn't a red card. He gets some of the ball and his foot rolls over it and he catches him. And I took umbrage with the fact that the referee goes over to the VAR and there's a still on the connection, which is wrong because it looks worse than it is. Of course it does. And you see he gets some of the ball and he rolls over. Yes, it looks bad and it's accidental. And look at that. That shouldn't be your first point of call. That should not, because it looks poor. I just think they had a really, you don't even have to think. Today, the officiating was a really bad day for them, unfortunately.
Even there, you see it there. Of course, he's unlucky, because like the manager says, he makes contact with the ball, he goes over the ball. I mean, that happens in training, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's unlucky, but obviously when you slow it down and you freeze it, it looks really bad.
But Jurgen Klopp says that he's never been more prouder of a Liverpool team.
You can see the performance and the fact that it got so late in the game that they nearly got a point out of it. They've worked incredibly hard, haven't they? They were very disciplined. It just spoiled the game in a way, because at half-time, it was so exciting and end-to-end and chance after chance. The second half become a bit of a non-event, really, with the sending off. Liverpool defended and Tottenham just attacked continually, and it was just whether they could break them down. So I can see why Jurgen Klopp was very proud of the team. No doubt Ange would be very proud of his team, and rightly so. It's easy to judge that game and take it for what it is today. Tottenham got the result, but actually both teams emerged with a lot of credit, I think, going forward.
First time Liverpool have been down to 9 men in the Premier League for 12 years. Do you remember that one?
Why did I play?
No, you didn't just play.
I scored. Come on.
I'm not going to bring it up if you haven't scored.
Home game.
4-0. 4-0. Even I knew that.
No, you only got one, I'm afraid. But
Adebayor 2.
Adebayor 2, that's right, yeah.
And Modric.
Oh, now we remember.
Once you press.
He knew. He's just been talking about money.
Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your company. Well, we knew today, and that game in particular would provide some talking points. Even we underestimated just how many. Once again, the Premier League never fails to deliver. From the three of us, we'll see you soon.